Hello everyone and welcome to another royal reading here at MadWorldTarot on a very rainy Saturday evening, rainy and cold Saturday evening. And today I have the Radiant Wise Spirit Tarot on the tarot table, and we are looking at strategies, people who are playing very strategic games. And the first one is Megan, and we're looking now at this theory that Lady C first put out, that Megan was the one behind the Hollywood Reporter story, that she suggested the idea to them and they took it and ran with it and came back with something quite different to what she had intended them to write. That is the bare bones of the story, and at the time I thought, that's really pushing it. We know the Hotmail account is always very busy and there's stuff always going out to the press. She seems to spend her days, allegedly, Megan, writing puff pieces, hit pieces, whatever pieces that seem to contradict each other, and this weird narrative that goes out and is then contradicted. It's very, very difficult to figure out what's going on. It's one of the reasons we do tarot, to try and understand it all. But Lady C's story, she repeated it on Dan Whitten's channel a few days ago, or even weeks ago. I've lost track of time at this stage. Now Ibble Dibble is on the bandwagon, if I heard her correctly. I was listening to her this morning as I was doing other things around and about the house. She's back and she's putting out some very interesting content. She's always somebody that I like to support on YouTube. She seems to be getting behind this theory. She says, who else would quite like themselves being described as a dictator in high heels? And so I'm going to look at this with the Radiant Wise Spirit Tarot. Quick little reading. What's going on? Did Megan really put this story out? And if she did, why? Because there has been a clap back that, oh, it's iconic to be like this, and it's so hot and sexy and desirable, and, you know, women are allowed to express themselves and in quite a strident way, and not be accused of being bitchs and all that sort of thing. So it's plausible. I want to know how she felt if she did this, hypothetically, if she did do this, how she felt when their version came out with the 12 people's affidavits and a real takedown. Does she regret it now, if this theory is true? So we're going to have a quick little look at this story all over again and see if Megan was the author of her own misfortune. Little miscalculation is my working title for this reading. So let's see if Lady C is onto something after all. And trying to get energy in these cards. As I said, it's a cold and rainy day today. Thought that was all behind us, but not apparently. And the cards are just taking a little bit of time to warm up. Apologies, but I've got to do what I've got to do as a tarot reader. And I said, yeah, there we go. Okay, that's what I like to see as a tarot reader. Doesn't mean that it's what everyone likes to see as tarot readers. It's just the way it goes for me. There we go. So, reminder, it's tarot for fun and entertainment. It's all my opinion, all speculation. Just read energy here. And there is a disclaimer in the box below. Did Megan come out with this story? And if so, why? And how did she feel when a different version came out, a much worse version? And does she regret it now? Ooh. We've got the trickery card. The trickster has shown up as our underlying energy. That's right, on the button. And magician. Magician's about PR. It's about spin. It's about manipulating situations. It's about making fetch happen. It's about creating stuff. Media stories. And for attention, maybe, to try and manipulate search engines, to put out different things. If you're tired of hearing about the bullying report, perhaps, and you want, oh, Hollywood Reporter says she's a dictator in high heels, but really it's just because she's found her voice and she knows who she is and she's strong and, you know, that whole silly thing. Okay, situation that we have the King of Wands and it's in reverse. There is spin that's gone wrong. With that King of Wands, that's medium manipulation, that's trying to be the boss of something. The kings are all the bosses of things, and the best of the best at something. The king would be the best of the best at spin, at PR when we're talking wands. And oh dear, I'm being told I need to cover with a blankie. I'm going to have to pause. Okay, that was the little Jack Russell we still have. Had to be covered with a blankie. He's cold after his little walk in the rain. But anyway, King of Wands, back to the King of Wands. That's the Ari Emanuel kind of energy. I would imagine that people like that, whoever is advising her about her media presence and her approach to PR and all this kind of stuff, would have said, don't do it, it's a stupid idea. And possibly she defied good advice. And a lot of people speculate, people who know a lot more about this than I do. I'm no expert on mental health and personality disorders, but a lot of people say there is some opposition or defiance in there somewhere. And I'm guessing with that King of Wands in reverse, which I have seen recently quite a bit on the tarot table here, I'm getting that she was told no, not a good idea, and she thought, I know better. This is my personal opinion. I'm speculating how the scenario played out. I know better. Let's get busy with that Hotmail account and approach somebody at the Hollywood Reporter or whatever. And oh dear, it went horribly wrong. So the big question, the $1 million question today, is Lady C right? Did Meghan actually invent this whole story, come up with this idea, which backfired so spectacularly? Did she? I've got the Lovers. I would say that's a yes. And again, another card that I'm seeing a lot of lately, partnerships. It might even be that she and Harry were in this together. The good cop, bad cop narrative. Harry is the one who cracks the jokes and he's nice and he's so funny and he's so charming and whatever. But she's the one that cracks the whip. Whoops, that was a Freudian slip right there. That she's the one who's the dominant one, and it's all a bit, as I say, it's a bit sassy. Choosing my words carefully here. The Lovers, a pair, a union, a partnership that are involved in this, trying to possibly suppress that whole bullying thing, trying to make her look iconic, because that was the narrative that came out straight afterwards when this Hollywood Reporter article burst upon us. The narrative that was coming from Meghan's side of the street was, it's iconic, it's iconic, it's iconic. This high heels, this dictator in high heels stuff. So interesting energy. We're getting big cards here, and that card indicates that it might have been cooked up by Meghan, and Harry went along with it. I wouldn't say he's the evil genius behind this, because there's, genius isn't a word I would associate with Prince Harry, especially not after his little stint in New York. But let's see. What was she hoping to do, or what was she hoping to do with this? I've got the Three of Swords there. Very painful card. There is something in here that's been nagging and nagging and nagging at her. Something she can't get over, something she can't put behind her, some betrayal, some heartache, some disappointment. And I would say that this is the grievance that goes back to those days of not being offered a ride to go shopping with the Princess of Wales, where she had backgrid lined up waiting, allegedly. And the disappointment with the Tiara Gate and what Meghan wants, Meghan gets, and Duchess difficult, and all of this stuff. I think it gnaws and gnaws and gnaws at her soul, and really is something that she cannot make her peace with. I think it really boils down to her one-sided feud with the Princess of Wales, and to her feeling that the royal family betrayed her and let her down, and she can't make her peace with the way it all ended. There's a lot of speculation that she was actually fired from the royal family, told after her abortive trips to Australia and South Africa, that she was no good, she wasn't up to the job, and she was out on her ear and can't get over it. So she's trying to rewrite that story, reframe it to make herself look good and to make everyone else look as if they just can't deal with strong women. So there we go. How did she feel when the Hollywood Reporter takedown came out? If this is the case, and we've got the High Priestess, it's not a terrible card, and I haven't seen truly horrific energy with this story. I think she thinks she can still spin it with that High Priestess card, that she's still powerful, she's still got the vision board out there, and whatever other magical powers she thinks she has with that High Priestess, whatever high contacts she's got. I think she still feels that she's tapped in to the inner sanctum somehow in Hollywood, that she's still influential, she can still manipulate behind the scenes, and she can still make things happen. She's still very powerful. It's an incredibly powerful card, the High Priestess. So I think in her mind she somehow still thinks that she can change this, and she can reshape this, and she can ride this, and she can survive it. That's the energy when the story came out. What about now? Is there regret now? Is there, wish I hadn't done that? If she did, we're speculating, of course. Or is she still gung-ho about this, still thinks that she can get away with this? Yeah, now there's regret. 6 of Swords, and it's in reverse, upright. It's leaving your troubles behind, moving away from difficulty, from conflict. It's in reverse. It tells me that she's found herself now stuck in the story, and she's not able to move away from it and put it behind her, and she might never put it behind her. It's not big enough yet to really scream remorse. It's telling me that she has an awareness, an intellectual awareness, that she's got herself into a bit of a pickle, or that she is in a bit of a pickle. Whether she can own the fact that she put herself there is open to doubt or debate. But it's an intellectual awareness. It's not a feeling aware of horror and dismay and catastrophe and regret. That would be quite a different card. It still tells me, because we've got this Magician as the underlying energy here, it still tells me that she believes she can rewrite this, that she can manifest it away somehow, or spin it away because of this Magician card. The very interesting that the Lovers are there showing up when I asked the question, is Lady C right with her theory that Megan is behind this? I've got the pair of them possibly being behind it. The spin here, the King of Wands, the oppositional defiance, disorderly kind of speculation there. This is the interesting card here. Why? If she did do it, and let's say hypothetically, if she did actually start this whole thing, and then, there was this different outcome. Why did she do it? 3 of Swords. Because of that pain that she just can't get over, that feeling of betrayal, heartache, disappointment, that she cannot put behind her and move on from, or at least accept she might have had something to do with the way things went, or the things going so badly wrong in the royal family. But I don't think she sees it that way. I think she blames everyone but herself for the way things went down in the UK. So that's a reading. Sorry about the disruptions from Little Dog. And I'll hope to see you on the next one.